Hello everyone, it's Sonia from Sonia's Mixed Media. I haven't been online for a while. This is my first YouTube video for a few weeks actually. I decided to have a bit of a break actually and really study on doing some art, and I just wanted time to just do what I wanted to do, not worry about what videos would be popular or what people want to see. I just kind of wanted to forget about all of that and just concentrate on doing some more art. So I have been working every day for the past few weeks in this absolutely huge old Macquarie World Atlas, and I would say it's probably A3 size or maybe even bigger. I'll just grab my notes that I'll need. And been having a ball, and what I have been doing is so many different techniques in this journal. This is what I'm calling my collect all journal. This is what I've been using to experiment and play and try all different types of painting and drawing and collage, and just getting inspiration from different artists and just trying to get back to my core to see what I want to do, because the last few months or half a year I've been doing nothing sort of but collage, and this is a collage page. So I started this off doing collage, and then you will see it morph into these really different styles of art. So let's get to it. This first page I did was actually, I've tried to write down as many people as I can remember. I was looking up a YouTuber called Not Your Average Housewife. I think that's what her name is. I'll try to remember to list all these down below in the description. And she has beautiful big journals that she works in, and they are mainly scrapbooking with a bit of paint, and they're really beautiful. They're very feminine and lovely, and yeah, I just saw her and thought I would do a page sort of that reminded me of her kind of work. And I messed around a bit with some photocopies here, and I got these magazine images, and then I just photocopied them and kind of made doubles of a lot of the images and just messed around and played with that. I'm sorry I don't have the whole book in focus the whole time, but I really tried to kind of get my camera in the right position, but because the book is so big, it's either the camera's too far away and you can't see anything, or it's too close, and I kind of just sort of gonna have to move it around a little bit for you from time to time. So this was my starting page, and I really love the lavender colors and the lavender layouts, and yeah, I just really had fun with that. Again, this was inspired again by Not Your Average Housewife. And if you're into collage and painting and just, want to do this sort of thing, go have a check out of her videos. I don't know if she's done any for a long time, but she does have quite a few of them. She keeps like big scrapbooks. So yeah, just messing around with some background. I painted this lady, which I always used to do is paint these big-eyed ladies. I haven't done it for years. I think I used to do this sort of thing back in 2012. So I tried it just very quickly. Wasn't really even worried about what she was going to turn out like. I just wanted a painted lady on this page. And she's got a wonky eye, and, there's no shading or anything, but, I was just playing around, trying to sort of get a feel for what your average housewife sort of does. So that kind of look. Okay, so then I went off on a complete different tangent because I started watching jelly plate printing, and I've never had a jelly plate. I've always heard about them, and I've never actually wanted one or wanted to try it or anything like that. All of a sudden I started watching these YouTube videos, and if you ever have watched any jelly printing, there are hundreds and hundreds of people doing jelly printing. So I went the whole hog. I made my own stencils. I did all this jelly printing on printed papers that you can see here. Yeah, just had a ball. Like, absolutely love this technique. I saw a YouTuber who had this stencil and did a similar sort of thing. I didn't write her name. She's one that I forgot the name of, but she does a lot of these sort of journal pages with the silhouette of the lady stencils, but I just sort of made my own and created this page, and yeah, just had fun with the jelly prints. And I've got a bit of what's it called, texture paste love hearts up the top, which I painted gold. I don't know if you can see them. There they are. And I dripped paint, and I used gesso, and yeah, created this kind of page. I think I may have shown it before on YouTube, but this was when I was just getting started, sort of dabbling with different ideas. And I really love this idea of this journal. And I think everyone should have one. You know how we all seem to look at each other's YouTube videos, and I don't know about you, but I'm always on Pinterest and Instagram, and I'm Googling different artists and trying to find inspiration. And then sometimes you love things and then you pin it or you save it on your computer or whatever, and then you forget about it. And I thought, no, I'm going to start a journal where I actually try these techniques and put all the different techniques and styles in the one journal. And hell, this journal is huge, so this is the journal that I can do as much play as I want, and it doesn't matter if I mess up on things or it looks crappy. This is a try it all sort of journal. This one I had so much fun. Started with this collage image in the middle of the girl with the mask. Then I started getting into mark making and doodling, and I remembered back from years ago I used to follow Traci Bautista. And so I decided to look her up again, watched a few of her videos, kind of went on Pinterest and haunted and bookmarked all of her artwork. And then I went to the library and I borrowed Collage Unleashed, Print Making Unleashed, and I think Doodling Unleashed. Absolutely fantastic books. And she shows you how to doodle and make marks with not only pens, but using droppers and your fingers and using jelly prints and just having fun. So this stamp making, everything was inspired by Traci Bautista in this. Again, I went back to a bit of my collage. Sometimes when I don't feel like painting, I still go back to my collage roots. So here I was just playing with some different brown focal points. I really, really loved this peacock, and I really love this image here. Then, I don't know, I kind of found this double page in a National Geographic of the feathers. Just kind of all put it together, just kind of, really liked it. Closer up on that peacock there, and the brown skin girl with the blue eye. I mean, how awesome is that? Beautiful. Okay, another collage page where I kind of Did some slicing out. This is one image here, and then I sliced out this middle section and used a piece of this full page from a magazine, and I put it in the middle here, which I love the effect. And then my big owl from my huge birds book, and this flower that was from the same gardening magazine as this one. And I think that's the last of my collage before I went all painty. So here we have more jelly print fun, and had an awesome time with this. I'm trying to think. Can you hear the rain on my roof? It is absolutely pouring outside. It's like a storm out there. It's been hailing. The rain's coming down like furiously. It's windy. It's absolutely shocking day outside. And you're probably going to hear it all on the video. I don't know if it's quite loud enough, but wow, I'm glad I'm not working today. Anyway, like I said, this was, I did some mark making all over my page when I started. And then I made some stencils. This is what the print was underneath. All of this you see is the print that I did underneath. You can see that leaf there. The rest I coloured over with acrylic paint. Put my stencils down. I use, this is a jelly print I made into a flower, but all the petals are on here is from all the paint and doodling that was underneath this before I covered it all. So I absolutely love this. I'm trying to think. I don't know if anyone actually inspired me by this. It's something I had in my mind for a long time, so yeah. This one here I think I've showed in another video. This was a journal prompt I did. I can't remember whose journal prompt it was now, sorry, but I've done a few journal prompts in here. This page looked the same as this one, but I actually really hated this page. It turned really muddy and just went too far, I think, or not far enough. I can't quite remember, but I think I did some black writing on it and it turned all muddy, and I absolutely hated it. So I tore it out and just kind of redid this page and then kind of linked them back up. So I just got one of my stencils and some spray ink and just, you know, made that a bit better. Used one of my jelly prints here to make the flower and the stem. Okay, this again I've showed in a previous video. This was a journal prompt that was through a YouTuber. I won't go through that one again. This one here is one of my favorites. For some reason I got completely, once I did the jelly prints, I became completely obsessed with flowers. Flower stencils, making flowers out of the jelly prints. I just had to do all these flower pieces of art, and this is one of my favorites. So I basically did all my jelly prints on paper, then I cut out these flowers. I doodled in the background, then I went all over it. I think I used some paint at first, but then I went over it with the Faber-Castell, what are they called? They're like the crowns. It's just not coming to me at the moment. But, you know, the Faber-Castell creamy crown things, water soluble. Oh, I forgot the name. But anyway, I went over it with that. And absolutely love this page. This is just a collection of jelly prints that I did that I really loved, and I just didn't know what to use them for, so I just sort of made a huge kind of collage. Can you see all of that? A big collage out of the whole lot. Again, this was inspired by Traci Bautista, just a lot of stenciling, doodling, mark making, you know, dabbing on with a sponge with stencils and using paint pens. And I actually at the top here cut out a, so it's like a cutout flower here, so you can actually see the other page through it. So did that. I saw someone on YouTube had a cutout, so I did that on that page. And then of course it's also on this page, so you can see the red flower underneath. Again, crazy with the flowers and the jelly prints. Yeah, did a lot of gesso at the bottom here and used those Faber-Castell crayons again. Yeah, really love this one as well. I think Diane, no, was it Diane Culhane? I'm trying to think who inspired me with this. I've lost it. But anyway, there was an artist that inspired these. This was just a stencil cut out of an owl, and I just used all my jelly prints in a collage inside the owls, and yeah, just used one of my dropper bottles to make these black flowers, and did a bit of stenciling at the bottom there in yellow. Don't know if that's showing up, but it's like a honeycomb print. I'm sorry if it's getting dark in here, but I've got all my blinds open. I've got the 2 lights on, and I'm looking at the camera thinking, this is still looking pretty dark. It's just the weather outside, but that's maybe a better look. Again, using those jelly prints, and did I make stencils? I think I had stencils for this and kind of just doodled some plants, some plants and leaves. Believe, Smile, Art and Create. So you can see all the yumminess of all the jelly prints in there. Oops. So one thing about having this huge journal is that, it's so heavy and it doesn't all fit on camera. Okay, I might be able to try to adjust this a bit. No, that didn't really help, did it? Okay, again, jelly print flowers. This is all in one big vase. So huge vase here, gessoed, doodled and painted, and then gessoed over the top, and then did all of my lovely flower work there with my jelly prints. This is going to be really noisy because the stand on my camera actually is like really creaky, but I'm just going to try to adjust this. See if I can. No, it's just not. Oh, sorry guys. It's not really any better, is it? Oh, it's folding. Hang on there, guys. I have to tie up my my camera stand here. It is breaking and falling apart, and it is driving me crazy. So just don't look at the screen for a minute, because it's going to be very, very wobbly and shaking all over the place while I tie this up. Get it to stay. It won't stay. It's nearly broken. Okay, we'll keep going. Okay, here I was doing my print making on some brown paper with jelly prints and stamping. And then I decided to do what Dee Dee Willingham is always talking about, and using those colour book images. So I coloured it in my colouring book, but then I photocopied it. So I didn't tear out the page out of the colouring book. So this isn't the true colours, because of course your printer doesn't print as good as, you know, the true colours. But I've got this king and the queen on this page. And this is so annoying. Okay. Does not want to work today. Oh, sorry. It's just absolutely broken. Another reason why I haven't done a video in ages. Okay, how's that? That's there. How about that? Is that better? Yay! It's better. You can see all the rubbish on my table. Oh no. There we go. Finally. Sorry guys, I feel awful for all that squawking, and I don't edit my videos, so that's beyond me. Okay, this was a collab I did with my daughter. She was bored one day, so I said, look, come get your fingers dirty and paint with me. And we made all this gorgeous mark making. And then at the top, I just went over again with the Faber-Castell crowns. And the bottom we left, and then again the jelly print flowers. Like I said, I have been jelly print flower obsessed. And I'll just put it up. There you go. This is much better. You can see everything now. So there you go. Okay, what did we do next? More flowers. So yeah, just working around with... this wasn't jelly prints. This I doodled all in the background with paints and markers and drips and drops, and then I just went around the and made flowers into shapes of flowers, I should say, and just used like white acrylic paint to cover up the background. This one kind of just worked on that a bit. Okay, this one here was inspired by, I'll lift it up. This was someone on Instagram who, I just saw that she did these shapes and doodled in the shapes. And I thought, that seems easy and fun. And I had all these really fluoro colour paints on hand. So yeah, I just spent an afternoon just kind of painting and doodling. And yeah, it's not a great piece of artwork, but it's nice and bright, and that's what I love the most about it. Now this one here turned out very pretty. Okay, you can see jelly prints on there. You can see this girl I drew, this flower girl, and I've got more jelly print flowers stuck on there, and I've got all this background. Now, this was inspired by, let me get my sheet. This was inspired by Irit Landgraf. I hope I've said that right. I don't know what nationality she is, but she's here on YouTube, and it's Irit Landgraf. And she does all these really pretty journal pages with embellishments stuck on and things like that, and she inspired this page. The background of it was inspired by Diane Culhane, who does all these lovely paintings with kind of the background is whited out, and it's kind of, yeah, you kind of make flowers. But then I didn't like it just as its own, and then I was watching Irit, and so I made this lovely page. This here, this girl started off as a jelly plate print, and it was just a big stencil I had of a big sunflower. And I thought, oh, she'd look good as like, you know, a sunflower girl. So I added the face in the middle. There's a jelly, that's not a jelly print, it's a jelly print, and then I put paint over the top and used the back of a paintbrush to make it look like a leaf. Jelly print up the top. Then we went on to a different style completely. And this is all my, I don't know, I kind of think they look like cacti. But then they're supposed to be like pebbles. And this was inspired by Laura Horn Art. And she's here on YouTube as well as Instagram. She's a fellow Aussie and she's a mixed media artist. And she just makes these lovely patterns, and then she puts dots and circles and squiggles and does a lot of pattern making. And I really, really love how this turned out. It was very therapeutic. It was so relaxing. And yeah, I absolutely loved doing this. This was a lot of fun and love the colours. So I just did the entire page full. And this is on my Instagram if you want to see that. And then I did another one inspired by Laura Horn Art. And this was with watercolours. But I don't know if it was my watercolours or the paper, but it didn't really turn out the watercolour as nice as I thought. I love working with acrylic. I think it's a lot more stronger and vibrant than the watercolour is a very, is more, soft. So that's something I discovered, is that I'm not too keen on watercolour. Much prefer acrylic at the moment. And yeah, just did the mark making. So I painted the background page because it's an atlas page, obviously. And then I just stuck on these pieces of watercolour paper because I was using watercolours. Then I have this page, and I've written a print making leaf study. So this is something I wanted to show you. What this is when you've got really ugly jelly print paper. So you've done your jelly prints and then you look at it afterwards and you go, ugh, that just doesn't look very nice. It's, I won't use that. This is something you can do. I paint very thickly over the top of the jelly print, and then very quickly, while the paint is still very wet, I get a skewer or the back of my paintbrush, and I just draw in like leaves or flowers. And when you do that, the background becomes visible. So these leaves all have the jelly print in the background. So that was a lot of fun to do. I did that one. That was something I just came up with myself. And this one, again, was just like I've been into mark making lately. So this is something where I just let loose and just wanted to go crazy. I guess it's kind of like I was watching Donna Downey and Traci Bautista and who else was I watching? Donna Downey, I can't remember the other one, but just people who love to paint abstract and just have fun and not know what it's going to look like at the end, just do it. So I did that as well, and that's my last page. See, these are the beautiful atlas pages that are in here that I cover up with gesso. But that's what I've been doing the last few weeks, and now I'm totally onto something else. I am at the moment, I started watching Jane Davenport again, who we all know and love, and I came across, I'm trying to think of a name, can't remember, sorry. I'll get it to you next time. I was watching someone else's YouTube video, and I've started another journal actually that is got all pretty girls in there, you know, the beautiful faces that Jane Davenport does. But it's also going to be like my book of shadows. I'm really interested in witchcraft and Wiccan beliefs, and it's something that's just kind of started to appeal to me. So things that I learn, I'm writing down in this book with these beautiful girls that I'm painting. So that's something I'll be showing you in the future. So hope you enjoyed this, and sorry about the squeaky camera stand there. Next time I'll try not to do that. Okay, everyone, have a great day. Bye.